Hello there, and welcome to our podcast, Africa to the World. I am Shami, and I'm your host for today. I've taken a trip to Rua to visit Charlene, who runs a safe house for teen moms. So we're just going to have a conversation to hear more about the work that she does, how she got started, any challenges they are facing, and we're hoping that this will add meaningfully to the conversation that we've already started on the topic of teen pregnancy and teen moms. So, hi Charlene, thank you so much for joining me, for having me in your house. It's so exciting to be here today.
Thank you, Shami. Thank you for having me.
So, we're gonna jump right in. Tell me about Charlene. How did you get into this whole thing? What's your story?
So Charlene is 27. She's a mom of one. So when I started, I didn't intend to start. So it was a competition, and the idea then was just to win the competition, basically. So UNICEF hosted Generation Unlimited in 2018, and then they asked people to pitch any solution for women empowerment, education, and employment. So we addressed teen motherhood because I was born to a teen mom. My mom gave birth to me when she was a teenager, and the way I grew up, because she didn't have time to finish her education and stuff, you could tell that as long as one is a teen mom, they have struggles with putting things together and earning a living because they don't have basically they're not educated and they don't have a form of income on their own. So when we pitched the UNICEF project, we won it in December 2018. And then when we started off, it was just in communities. The aim was to get into communities, teach the teen moms, and then help them get the O-level. But then things didn't turn out the way we had planned. And so we started off in Epworth and in Kadoma. And over time, we realized that most of the teen moms struggle to come to school because they'll be having baby issues. They need food. They need a place to stay. Some of them have got domestic violence, issues around their health. So we realized that they needed a safe space first before we could speak of education. Before we could speak of education, we have to speak of their safety. We have to speak of, do they have food to eat? So that's how the safe house was started. So yeah, basically that's it.
Okay, and how long has the safe house existed for?
We started the safe house in 2019. 2019 end of year till now.
Okay, and how has it been going so far?
Oh, first days it was it was a lot. The assumption is, when you're starting a project, you have this idea that I know that I'm what I'm dealing with, but the truth is we don't, unless we live with the people that we want to help. I think now I understand why Mrs. Masiwa, before she started the High Life Foundation, she went to an orphanage and slept there for a while. That was a good idea, because when I started to stay with them, I realized they're not just some teen moms, like a case to deal with. Their people, their feelings, they have tantrums. They sometimes don't like their babies because they're kids. They don't know how to hold their babies. They have health issues. Some of them do not keep on pressing on food and trying to earn a living because they don't have any hope anymore. For them, once they have a baby, society, culture, Chishona says that you're never going to go forward because basically so for them it kind of steals their self-esteem. So staying with them has been basically a bit complex because you get intertwined in their feelings. For those that are HIV positive, for those that are not, so there are many issues around them, but basically it has taught me a lot. It has taught me that teen motherhood is not simply about girls getting pregnant. It's also about how do they get pregnant, why do they get pregnant. It's also a question of why does society focus more on the person who got them pregnant and not on the teen mom. Yeah.
Okay, so from what you've just said, I've got two questions. The first one being, what are the cases that you come across the most in terms of how or why people got pregnant? And then the second one is, you've spoken about these girls as being human beings who have their own experiences, like they're still kids themselves. So, how do you deal with those types of challenges? How have you been addressing it?
I cry a lot first.
Oh no, man.
So the most basic reason is sexual abuse.
Okay.
Most of the girls come from areas like Hopley and Epworth because of hunger. Nzara chayo, corruption, lack of unemployment, orphanhood. Those girls are left stuck. A guy can do whatever, can find a hustle. For a girl to eat, every man she's going to meet is going to tell them that I have to sleep with you first. And I'm dating here and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So the solution, the girls get sexual abuse. But for them to not feel like sexual abuse, or they won't know it's sexual abuse, because they get the food. But then it's not just for one day. The other cases that we have married men. Married men who are taking advantage of younger girls. Who know they're hungry, who know they want to go to school, so they lie to them and then they get pregnant. The other cases that we have is the cases of family abuse, where children are trying to find a place to go, to find solace, like they just want some peace because they're being abused where they are. So as a result, they get in the hands of men. But the first and most thing that I found is hunger is the problem. Girls are getting pregnant because they are hungry, because their parents are unemployed. So the problem of teen motherhood, if you're going to talk of a solution in any way, I want to say this to a person that if you want to solve teen motherhood, solve poverty in Zimbabwe first. Create a sustainable economy, because unless those things are not solved, teenagers will continue to get pregnant.
So with the girls who are here, I'm digressing before you've even answered the next question. But with the girls that are here, where are their parents?
Okay, so we have some that are orphans. Then we have some that the parents are available, but they're single parents. Most of the girls that we have, I found they're from divorced parents. Those are the major cases. Most of the girls we have are from broken families. So the girls that we usually take have come either from a stepmom or from some broken family, but they are living with an aunt or another extended relative. Some of them, the parents are there, but just because our Shona culture says, it's a shame. Somehow it seems to bring shame to the parents. And, excuse me, in as much as context say the pregnant girl is allowed to go to school, it's hard for a mother to go to school and say, get my child educated, when the school is seeing a tummy there. They're obviously going to say no. Yes, it's allowed, but it's hard to bring a pregnant girl in a formal school where any other child there is not pregnant. So that shame, and associated with the fact that the parents don't really know what to do, especially if the girl is under 16. That's what leads us to having them here at the Safe House. Our culture, the mindset, and stigma.
Okay, is that the same thing with the stepmom or with the divorced homes?
It's the same. The same.
Okay.
It's even worse when the parents are separated, because the mother will be usually the mother gets remarried, the father gets remarried, so the child is stuck in between.
Yeah, and that's also something that I actually found when I was doing my research. So I did a PhD in sociology, and my topic was child marriage. And I found that a lot of the girls who ended up married are girls where they just don't have love in their homes. Either the parents died or they were never married, they got married to someone else, and now there's just nowhere for that child to fit in. So I definitely can see how that would happen. Okay, so back to the other second question that I'd asked you, to say, how do you deal with the tempers, with the moods, and all that comes with living with teenage girls?
I don't deal with it. I just go through it. Because the problem is, if you want to deal with it, it looks like a problem that you have to just, emphasize. You feel like a god to them, and then they don't look at you as a mom.
Okay.
I don't deal with it, honestly. I go through it. I want to know what it's like to be them. So I'd rather go through it than be dealing with it. The difference between dealing with it and going through it is, when you go through it, is you want to understand why they are moody in the first place. When you deal with it, you just want to get it over and done with, so that it looks good on the outside.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's if it's worth crying, we're crying together. If it needs, I need to discipline with them. If I need to sit down with them to explain, I sit down and explain. I just realize that teen mothers are kids. They're babies. However I would have dealt with my child is how I would deal with any teen mother.
Yeah.
Because first of them, before you see them as mothers, you first have to see them as kids, or just having puberty problems. They have normal problems. They have dating problems. They have body shame problems.
Yeah.
They wonder if the stretch marks will ever end. They wonder if they can wear crop tops. they are worried if they can have other children. They're worried about, is it actually possible for me to move forward? If I do move forward, where does my baby stay? What does it mean for my child? So I go through it. That's how I basically deal with it.
Okay. So in terms of what your safe house offers these moms, what does that look like?
Maternity care, homeschooling, and also we just offer living assistance.
Okay.
So those are the 3 pillars we work with here. We offer them education, they get educated here. But then we have 3 primary school girls that received a scholarship at a private school. So that's the 18-year-olds that we have. Yeah. And the 15-year-olds, they are at a primary school. And then the other high school girls, they're homeschooling here.
And how many girls do you have currently?
In total, we have 10.
Age range?
Yeah.
What's their age range?
We have 13 to 19.
Shucks.
Yeah.
13. Sure. Yeah. Okay. So where does the funding come from to keep this place going?
Facebook has been the greatest tool I have. I'll just post what we do, and then individuals have come through, supporting partners in organizations, but mostly individual women who relate to motherhood, who relate to teen motherhood. Those are the people that we can say that's where our main funding comes from.
Okay. Is there no church involvement at all, or people within this actual community?
We do not involve the community because it's a safe house. Once they're familiar with this place, then the girls are exposed. Okay. So the community we are in doesn't have to know where we are or what we do. Otherwise, when the girls walk around, they'll be labeled.
Okay.
So we never work with the community we are staying in. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. So all the girls who come here, are they referred from social welfare, or how does that work?
What we do is that we work with what we call community. Basically, they're both like community social workers, but they're basically these ladies that are involved in the community work. They notice cases and they refer them back to us. So, and then we speak to the guardians or whoever is involved. Yeah.
Okay. So, if you are to give advice to someone out there in Zimbabwe, someone who has a daughter that's fallen pregnant and they're trying to navigate that situation, what would you say to them?
The first advice, do not ask your child to have an abortion. Abortion has more detrimental effects than keeping the pregnancy. They might get rid of the baby, but you will never bring them back to be who they were before. Because psychologically, they always feel like they committed murder. And they'll always feel that they took out something out of themselves. It'll be hard to let them go through the pregnancy. But you'd have served them much more than removing the baby. Because something happens to a woman the moment they have a person inside of them. Because the automatic response is ngavisenumbu.
Yeah.
But we never check how the child. Most children have killed themselves because of the depression of just doing abortion. They'll never concentrate on school. But if you let them keep the baby, especially you find that if they are not in communities of high density, where we're not talking of poverty, where it just happened, the only way they will ever understand the circumstance of what happened to them, whether it was intentional or unintentional, is if you let them keep the child. And the other advice I'll give them is that teen pregnancy is there. But if you see a person who's a teenager and they're pregnant, I'd advise you know their story first before you say wakamanyira or what. Some of these children don't do it because they want to. I know it sounds weird, but they get pregnant because they have to. At that moment, in which no one's asadza. And I know how we might see it as prostitution, whatever it is. But take this in the brain of a 13-year-old. Asina arara sina sadza. If I want food, if a man says, I'm going to sleep with you to get food and I'm hungry, I'm going to get slept with. So I think the second thing I'm going to say is don't judge. Listen to them first. Know why, what happened. And parents, if they are to separate, please, especially if you have a girl child, figure out who's going to stay with the child. Figure out, is it the mom? Preferably let the mom stay with the child. That is the only way we can probably stop this.
Okay. You spoke about abortion and how abortion in the long run is worse than the person keeping the child. Did you ever come across any who had either committed abortion or were tempted to or tried to and it failed?
We actually meet them, but you never find them because of the effects it has. That's how detrimental it is. If you look for them again, they actually considered as a crime. So even if I were to direct you to say meet this person, they will not come through. They considered something like a medical, not medical, that thing they have in medical thing where you keep a secret for someone. Yeah, that code of theirs.
Oh, what makes them then confess kuti ndozva akaita?
Like because I know what these kids do. Community social workers. What's the next month?
Sure, that's hectic.
That's why I think at one point what I'm going to do is we will do a drive-in walking to the Navy. And then you see when you see these girls face to face, you understand nothing about them is formal, nothing about them is on paper. They do things in their own way. What matters, what society doesn't apply in Hopley. Hopley is in world of its own.
Yeah.
With everything that is wrong being done right according to them.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Okay. How long do the girls stay at the safe house generally?
1 year.
Okay, and how was that? Like, how did you decide upon that?
Because our spaces, right now what made us decide that it was our space. Since we rent it out, if we keep a girl for 2 years, it means another girl will not have the opportunity to be rehabilitated.
Okay.
We only have about 2 safe houses in Marare that do that. So Kukosha is already full, and then what's left is Charltan Trust. So if Charltan Trust is full, then where do the girls go? So we have to rotate somehow. So 1 year is the only way.
And then what happens after they leave? Where do they go?
We are working towards getting our support groups. Like they find, whilst they're in the safe house, we create training programs for them. And we give them a startup. Results are form 4. Help them find jobs and everything. But the idea is empower you to take because honestly speaking, there's only so much you can do. The former, anyone who's under 16, we keep them longer.
Okay.
Under 16, we keep them longer. 16 and above, we'll let you out.
Okay. And then, do you have any who've left already?
Yeah, we have. I think about 2 groups of them.
Okay. And do you keep tabs on them, or you just, once you're gone, you're gone?
No, we talk to them. You find they don't.
And then advice for the teen girls out there.
Teen girls, close your legs.
Okay, that's not what I was expecting.
I know. Everyone else is expecting to say something really old school. That close your legs. Like, I've got nothing else to tell you. Like, I'm gonna tell you the way my mama would tell me. Nothing more. I've got nothing.
And the ones who don't have food.
Okay, right now I mean everyone else.
Okay.
No,
generally speaking,
close your legs.
And then for the ones who are in tricky situations where they're really struggling, and to me it's I have no other way out.
Again, close your legs. Then, right. So you find that in every community, there are people who are linked to social welfare. Waitanzara, you're struggling. Find who's linked to Vunza. I always saw the girls that I stay with in the safe house. You are hungry. Everyone knows someone who knows someone. That's one thing I know. People are networking themselves. And in Dinenzara, where can I go? Where can I get help? Social welfare is there. They will refer you to someone. You get it? So, first rule, close your legs. Second rule, first ask. Your legs will not give you anything. They'll just give you another problem that you have to deal with for the rest of your life. In as much as it is a blessing, it will also come with responsibilities that will be really hard for you to deal with. So yes, close your legs and those are my 2 advices.
So for me, that also brings up another problem, that teenagers or young people across the country don't know that they can actually approach social welfare. It's just an issue. I'm hungry. It's my own problem. It's my family's problem. So let me solve it. So maybe that's also something that needs to be done to sensitize in communities. Sure, if you're feeling hungry or you need something, you have somewhere to actually turn to.
I think that is not just a responsibility on social welfare on its own. That would be unfair to say that. There's something that happens about laws and boards and what I've discovered. It's a responsibility of junior parliament to do that. It's the responsibility of junior parliament, junior council to conscientize the other kids. You can actually approach social welfare if you have a problem. Social welfare is going to deal with the problem. Their job is to deal with the problem. It is the responsibility of the community activists, the politicians, the junior parliamentarians, any board that associates with children, which has got children and youth themselves, is responsible for that. University students, Leo Club, whatever club you have out there, is responsible for that, not social welfare. So any board that's related to children, any board that's related to youth activism, that's related to child rights, has the responsibility to actually tell children that you can approach social welfare, you can approach Childline, you can do this if you have a problem you're facing.
That's some work for them to do. I hope the message gets to them. We'll try by all means. And then last one, message to the teen moms.
Okay. Yesterday I was telling them, I'm going to tell them what I told the other ones yesterday.
Okay.
It's not the end of your life. But this is one thing I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. A part of you was ruined, but it's a part of you. You need to reinvent yourself. You're going to need to work twice as hard. If you get a chance to go to school, work twice as hard. If you get any chance that's going to develop you, work twice as hard. Because now it's you and your baby. Whatever you have, your child is a blessing. It's a reason to go on. It's not a reason for you to stop. I know society is going to tell you everything, and anything is going to question you. It's going to hurt your feelings. It's going to do what? But whatever it is they tell you, or whatever it is they're going to say, work twice as hard. That's my advice. Work twice as hard. Because I won't tell you to close your legs, because whatever happened, whether it was rape, it has already happened. So now the only way is work twice as hard.
And then if people want to be involved or they want to help in any way, how can they get in touch with you?
My number is 0775 672 027. Facebook, it's CHARLENE Charlene Vhuta. And you can just inbox me and we'll start from there.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Charlene, for sitting with me and sharing your story, sharing about the home. Y'all, I'm going to be here for the rest of the day playing with these babies because they is cute. But yeah, we'll catch you next time on Africa to the World.
Thank you, Shami.
Thank you so much.